A Louisiana law requires that the Ten Commandments be displayed in every classroom in the state, and the law itself breaks several commandments. If there was such a thing as a serious Christian in the state of Louisiana, they'd be up in arms trying to get this thing overturned. The bill makes no mention of God, the Bible, Christianity, divinity, anything like that. The law explicitly calls the Ten Commandments a historical document on the same footing as the Mayflower Compact and the Declaration of Independence. The law requires the school systems to secularize the Ten Commandments and remove God from them. And it has to. The law won't stand otherwise. If this was a Christian Ten Commandments, the law would on its face run up against the Establishment Clause of the Constitution and be immediately struck down. It's definitely an agnostic Ten Commandments, maybe even an atheistic Ten Commandments, because according to Louisiana, it's just an old piece of mythology that's important because Americans are familiar with it. It is not divine commands from God itself. The Ten Commandments is literature about the belief in God. It's not literature by God. The law also requires that next to that Ten Commandments, there be this text posted. The text justifies the Ten Commandments display by saying that copies of the Ten Commandments sometimes appeared in textbooks in the 1800s that American school children learned to read and write from. It calls out by name the workbook McGuffey's Reader, which was a book of nursery rhymes and fairy tales that some early American school children used to learn how to read and write. And yes, some editions did have a copy of the Ten Commandments, but this justification plaque written by the state of Louisiana leaves out the fact that it was a nursery rhyme version. I guess C. Spot Run and Dr. Seuss are historically important documents that were vital to the founding of our nation. Now, aside from how demeaning this whole thing is to God, I don't even know what this bill is trying to achieve. Louisiana is ranked very low in terms of public education, and I don't know how kids are going to do better at trigonometry having the Ten Commandments hanging up in their room. But of course, none of that is the point, right? This is a stunt. Louisiana Republicans are trying to justify this in two different courts. One is the court of law and one is the court of public opinion. And in the court of law, they are insisting this is just a historical document. It has nothing to do with God. And in the court of public opinion, they're insisting, well, we need to have these up there because Christianity teaches the best morals.
Whether we like it or not, Moses is in the Supreme Court of the United States. The Ten Commandments are in the Supreme Court of the United States. Moses is on the law in Congress. This is part and ingrained in our nation. This is a historical document that's important in Louisiana because in Louisiana, we believe in faith, family, and freedom. And that is why I voted in favor of this bill.
If you take it all together, the entire stunt offends God. The entire law breaks commandments. By secularizing the Ten Commandments for a political stunt, they've made a false idol, a graven image, out of the Ten Commandments itself. They take God's name in vain by reducing Scripture to nothing but a prop and a piece of political performance art. They lie when they imply this is going to improve educational attainment. They lie when they argue two different motives, the one in the court of public opinion and the one in the court of law. And the law demands worship of powers and principalities over the worship of God. If you are a school teacher in Louisiana and you claim to be a Christian and you want me to believe you and you want me to take you seriously, you need to be refusing to comply with this law on religious grounds.